Yeah.
Hello, friends. I'm so happy to bring you here today, Dr. UK Srivastava. And all of you have his book in your hand, and it's a pioneering book of its own kind, first of its kind in India. And when at the time of writing it in 2012, I was very much associated with Dr. Srivastava. In fact, I have known him for over 25, 30 years as a member of the Institute of Management Consultants of India, where I served for many years. And even after that, we have kept in touch and occasionally we do interact. And it's entirely my pleasure to bring him here to you. He runs a company called PS Management Consultants out of Ahmedabad. And in his previous avatar, he was a professor at IIM Ahmedabad for many long years. And today he is still a very active consultant, busy all the time. So I'm very thankful that he's been able to make the time today to be with us. And, Professor Srivastava, this is our class of the All India Management Association Advanced Certificate Program in Business Consulting. And we have all participants here all of whom wish to take the plunge and set up their own management consulting businesses. Mostly they all want to be professional, and they want to be big, they want to be profitable, and they want to emerge as thought leaders someday or the other, and they all have a love for consulting. That's one thing in common. And you're a very busy and practicing consultants, and there are many questions I'm sure the participants will have for you. But today, in a short window, let's try and see all the ground that we can cover. So since 2012, we still find that the management consulting profession is still as scattered and still as fragmented and still as unorganized as it was in 2012 and before. But a lot has changed in terms of domains and knowledge and expertise and research, etc. So I just wanted your opinion that if you were to update this book of knowledge on consulting in India, what are some of the new things you would include and old things you would like to take out from this book?
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to you for inviting me to this interview. When we wrote this book, this basically we had classified the type of consultancies, typologies. So there are 7 typologies we had come up. One was the functional area based consultancies, which are all of us are familiar with: the finance, HR, production, operations, research, OD. Then sector related also consultancies, which are different emerging sectors at a particular point of time. They offer unique opportunities. And then consultancies for tracking and monitoring and performance of various sectors, M&E kind of activity, which is a part of all major projects. In company, of course, we have monitoring and evaluation procedures, monitoring procedures, MIS, and so on. And then the development projects, we call them monitoring and evaluation. Then consultancy on mergers and acquisitions. And next, please. Next, please. And organization-based consultancies were there. Assistance in vision building for new organizations, solving requirements for managers. Consultancy in government institutions, NGOs, international organizations, even political parties also are requiring consultancies. And then social issues, gender issues and environment, these are 2 prominent ones, but there are many more also. These are the prominent parts of any international projects. We have to do the gender, we have to satisfy that the project really helps it is empowerment of women and opens up new opportunities for them. And another thing is that we do not harm the environment, so that World Bank does not support any project which has any environmental impacts. And one of our projects was withdrawn by World Bank. That was Sardar Sarovar project. On this ground only that we are causing difficulty. So Meda Patkar and all those were against it. So that time we had done this kind of classification, and then we picked up the people who had worked in that area and we brought out. But there are limitations of pages, and there are limitations of some very eminent people. We would have liked them to like Walter Vera to write on strategic marketing, but he could not find time at that time, and could not happen. So, so there are certain topics were left out, and then very much now. A lot of things they would have liked to add to the international project experience is very rewarding, very paying also, and more. Then project management consultancy (PMC) is a very big area, emerging area, and then we have the transaction advisory, PNP, PPP projects, and all those which we advise, and financial issues, and there are sectoral opportunities which are emerging. So all those can be, those experiences can be, and then e-governance. That time it was in infancy, but now the e-governance is the real thing. And the change in consulting style itself has happened. When I was World Bank in the NIP project for 5 years, we used to travel 80 places. Believe me, 80 places I was supposed to travel at least once, in the country. So now, if present time, nobody would have done that. I mean, we would have just talked to them on Zoom and found out what they're doing, and so on. So things have changed. Things are changing, and things are becoming much faster. Things are becoming much more less time consuming, and you can interact with much more people, many more people than a particular place you go there. You can combine people and have more interactive session. So things are, consultancy is also changing, and now you don't have to travel. You don't have to be physically go and present and meet the MD. You can talk to him. So a lot of those changes have to reflect in the new volume. Suppose we were to bring out a second volume or something. These are
One
the
major chapter definitely is, how to do consulting virtually.
yes, has to be. I think just now, ma'am, we have done a project in Haryana. I did not move a place out of my office. And the project was started. Project was completed. Everything that I asked them, they send it by mail, and then immediately then we took care of it and submitted the report also online, and then they also had comments on online, so we don't have to move anywhere. So it was quite an experience, which we never experienced those times.
I can also fully appreciate, because even in my case, we've had a lot of projects started and completed during this
Yes,
lockdown period.
yes,
So
yes.
tell me, what, according to you, is the emerging marketing scenario for Indian scenario, at least for young management consultants, especially
And,
those like
yes.
our audience who want to start up?
It depends on, see, what happens. Most of these people, I don't know about their background, but what happens, they have been in the industry. Sometimes, they have done a graduation degree or something, and then they have gone to industry and served there and acquired a lot of varied experience, which they have, which will be useful. But depends on what is their background. First of all, they have to see that they have background, and they are good in their, I mean, their subject. They have to be a little more thorough, and so that they are, and then they have to go for. Initially, I would suggest that some of the larger consultants, not large, but some of them are like 3, 4, 5 small consultancies. They also look for people. If they work with someone and get a little feel of it, and then start generating their own clients, a little bit. So that is one area. And one area we found, we were talking before the session, the area where large companies, which are getting these 15, 20 companies, they are getting these assignments, from international sources, from domestic sources also, like reorganizing NABARD. Somebody was doing that here only. So they look for domain expertise from outside. They don't have the expertise for agricultural bank to run, and how does it run. So they look for somebody, and they don't want, but still they don't want that person to be hired on their permanent role. So they need a consultant. So that is where I think we have to look for those companies which are working in your area. area of expertise which you can offer, and then get in touch with them. So that once they come to you, they have numerous projects, and they can start working with you, and a relationship is established. So after some time, once your name gets going, then of course you might get on your own. Even there also is difficulty getting larger projects. Larger projects have 5 crore turnover limit. Most of them World Bank projects, they have the consultants, only those consultants can apply which have 5 crore turnover at least. So that is not possible. But this route, those who get in the light of 5 crores, they get the project. They need people because they don't have manpower. They don't want to add permanent manpower. So they are looking for. I get 4 or 5 requests for the same projects, and I said no, I don't want to work. I've committed to such and such. So I work with him this project. Maybe some other time work with you. So like, because they don't have, none of them have. They are looking for some kind. So these people have to look for those companies which are working in their area, and then join them, so on. So that initially finding the client having faith on you is a little bit of problem in consulting.
Okay. So that's exactly was also my question, which I think you've already addressed, is that
Yes, yes,
we shouldn't be doing small time projects, and small time assignments when we can always tie up with bigger consultants.
yes. Then you can be part of larger assignments, which otherwise will not come in your way. That wise, and then once you get going, then of course you can get some smaller companies also need it. And my experience of informal sector is very bad. They're getting money out of it, getting money. And they want everything to be done. Once they have hired something, if they want to buy a shoe also, they'll say consultant has to be consulted, like that. So they want everything. Everything is the same consultant, as if they have hired once, everything he will do for him. So it's a big problem with working with them.
That's true. So tell me, now this is about management consulting in India, but
Yes,
Indian consultants are relevant all over the world, and you have done
yes, it is.
in other countries as well,
Yes,
and
yes,
fairly large projects funded by large Asian development banks,
yes,
Bank, and so
yes,
many others.
sure.
So, what according to you is the global market for independent consultants in India?
Gold
Where do
market is
those opportunities?
it is good. It is good, and one way of doing it, getting into that market. Of course, it is. I don't know whether any of them are young people. Young people. There
Some
is
of them
young
are
professional, young professionals program is there. World Bank has young professionals program. One can apply for it,
young.
and then it is a way of growing into the hierarchy in the bank, getting into it. Other is those who are little more ahead and experienced, they can register themselves. There's an online registration for World Bank consulting, for Asian Development Bank, African Development Bank, and this. I have done work for even Commonwealth Secretariat. So there are these organizations. One can look at them. German Development Agency, Japanese agency. They all have a system for registering yourself.
So if
And
you do
once,
register, if you do register for
yes,
these databases of consultants,
yes,
does work still come your way? Because there's a lot of concern that we'll register,
some
nothing will happen.
sometimes there are who knows whom. If I the bank professionals know me, then irrespective of, I'm registered all right, but irrespective of who else is there, they might invite me. So
So,
registration is a requirement, but that is not what we call it in mathematics, a necessary condition, but not a sufficiency condition.
so ultimately, it's your reputation, your networking, and your
Yes,
branding.
networking is
That's what gets you.
yes,
Registration is just the first step. It's like
sure,
it's not just
sure, sure.
begins the journey for you.
Yes, and they have to have, you see, also it is fair because they have to have confidence in you.
Yes,
If you put you in the mission, they know. There is one
they get
experience
to
I
know
tell you.
you.
Sorry,
They
one
get to know
experience.
you over a period of time.
Yes. One experience I tell you, that we took a mission to Indonesia.
Yeah.
The Asian Development Bank mission. And there my job was, I was financial analyst as designated there.
Okay.
Now I worked out and everything, and there was a final meeting where, so they were only generals, with the 5-star generals, 4-star generals, everything for everything. Everybody's damn silence in the room, and everybody looking, and Dr. Srivastava, are we going to give this project this money or not? My mission leader is asking me, and I'm just looking at it. So that is what situation arises. I mean, you have this kind of situation. When I've computed all that, so I had all the data, so I can say whether bank will give money or not give money. So when this kind of things happen, but jobs are available. I mean, if you can deliver, that is a type of confidence. I'm saying the bank has generated that. I hear 20 people sitting there and looking at me whether I'll say yes or no. And on that, my yes or no depends on $150 million, transfer to them.
So if you
So
really want to make a breakthrough in these sectors,
yes,
it's possible.
yes.
If you
And
want.
then I got one guy here in Ahmedabad. I got him introduced to the bank, and then now he's getting 20 assignments. He started with one, then he continues to get into it.
It's a different channel of business development.
Yes, it is. It is, and it's very paying. I tell you, $300 to $400 a day minimum for Indians. Americans they charge $700 to $800 a day, and tax free also. It is tax free.
Why is it
So
tax free? Because it's for work done outside the country.
yeah, global relationship. They give you a certificate from by Sabuddin or something. That Deputy Secretary, Government of India has declared this as tax free. The payment from Asian Development Bank or some other.
Okay.
So there's similarly you get direct.
Okay.
So they have to look for the avenue for register themselves. They have to look for the firms in India where they can join hands and look for opportunity. If the certain expertise they have in the industry they know, they can also go and meet a few of them. So it's a networking of some kind. It has to start with. And then once your name starts selling, of course, people would be after you.
Yes.
So I don't know whether your experience is different. I mean, you've done also a lot of
I've
things.
done work only for private sector and some
Okay,
PSUs also, but
sure.
nothing for the government sector.
Yeah, yeah.
And I find that my challenge and my nature gels better
Mm,
with the private sector.
sure, sure,
Depends on what your nature is. And
sure.
my work is not like large projects. My work is now one-to-one and
Hmm.
coaching and
No, private sector work is also very good. I've done a project for Nestle, and we used to go to Moga, and the entire guest house will be vacated because Professor Srivastava is coming, and then they'll say, "What will you like to drink? What will you do this?" And accordingly, what will you like to eat? So they make food, and then the general manager would come and join. And I mean, once they're looking for expertise, like help, then they respect you and they have faith in you, and it's a great experience.
so
Yeah,
that's wonderful. Like we've got quite a lot of inputs from you, and I'm sure there is lots of things here to inspire some of our participants.
yeah,
And is it okay if I share some of your contact details or?
yeah, sure. And some other time, if you have any other discussion with them, a question and answer kind, we can do that also.
Yeah.
If they have any specific question, which will help them. Certainly, our job is
Professor
just
Ganesh Singh, who's coordinating this program, he's a
sure,
faculty.
sure.
He's the one who is
Yeah.
probably invite you for a deeper interaction with this class.
Despite being consultants, we are still professors. So we always look for the people to grow, help them.
That's also for true in my case. That's why
Yes,
I'm
yes.
here doing this interview with you and doing these sessions.
Very right, very right. Very good of you to bring so much experience from elsewhere, so many places, and share with them.
So, on behalf of All India Management Association, the management, the staff, and the faculty, and the administration, and also on behalf of the participants, I want to say a very heartfelt thank you. It's really a feather in our cap to have brought you to the session today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity. And some of the